Students often have trouble with telling the difference between supply and quantity supplied. This brief tutorial should help you determine that a little bit better. When we're looking at quantity supplied, we're basically looking at a change in the price of an object. So let's just say price goes up from P1 to P2. In that case, it would be a shift of demand. When the demand curve shifts, we see that there's a different quantity supplied. We go from Q1 to Q2. So a change in price or a change in quantity or a change in demand for the good itself would cause a change in quantity supplied. Supply itself can increase, in which case it would shift to the right, quantity would increase, price would decrease, or it can decrease, in which case it would shift to the left and the price would increase and the quantity would decrease. And it's caused by several what we would call supply shifters. You'll notice as we go through this that price is not something that shifts supply. The first supply shifter is R, and the R basically is for resource costs. And if the cost of a resource go up, we would see supply decrease. If the cost of a resource goes down, maybe due to new technology or just the fact that it's cheaper, we would see supply increase or shift to the right. The O in rotten, which is an acronym for supply, is other goods. Let's say that you make volleyballs right now and you find out that you can make more money producing basketballs. That would be a situation where you could do it pretty easily because you've already got the factory set up. There's just a few things you'd have to change. We would see a decrease in the supply of volleyballs from S1 to S2, and we would see an increase in the supply of basketballs from S1 to S3. So other goods prices have an impact on supply of the goods. How about the T, when we're looking at T has to do with technology. You know, in the old days, we used to milk cows. Now they have milking machines, and we see that cows are much happier, they produce more, and the milking machines are much more efficient than a person. So we would see supply increase. Taxes also have an impact. If taxes go up, and we're talking business taxes here, if taxes go up, we would see a decrease in supply. If taxes go down, we would see an increase in supply because it changes the cost of production. We also look at not just taxes, but subsidies. If Uncle Sam gives you money, you would see an increase in supply. You can produce at a cheaper cost. The E stands for producer expectations. If producers expect to make money, they will increase the supply. And so we would see a rightward shift. If producers expect to lose money in the future, we would see a decrease in supply. Finally, the N stands for the number of suppliers. You know, originally there was one reality TV show. It started out with Survivor. Now there's a whole bunch. American Idol, Amazing Race, Big Brother, all of these reality TV shows have increased the supply. So as consumers, we actually have more to choose from. So the number of suppliers impacts supply and causes it to shift as well. So all you basically have to do is remember rotten. You do need to memorize those supplies, and hopefully you know the difference between supply or quantity supplied, which is only a change in the price of the good itself.